Samuel Richardson's Pamela, a quiz. Number 1. The novel Pamela is subtitled as Virtue Rewarded, Shamila, Heroids, Familiar Letters on Important Occasions. Number 2. The novel Pamela is written by Samuel Richardson, Ovid Gravelotte Kemple. Number 3. What is the name of the heroine of the novel? Pamela Davis, Pamela Anderson, Pamela Andrew, Pamela Haywood. 4. Pamela was first published in 1720, 1710, 1740, 1700. Where was Pamela imprisoned? In the Bedfordshire. It isn't specified. In the Lincolnshire, nearby London. 6. In what two English countries are Mr. B's two states located? Shropshire and Wiltshire, Bedfordshire and Lincolnshire, Cheshire and Lancashire, Berkshire and Staffordshire. 7. What are the names of Pamela's parents? James and Deborah Andrews, Luke and Susan Andrews, Paul and Rebecca Andrews, John and Elizabeth Andrews. 8. What is the married name of Mr. B's sister? Lady Darnford, Lady Davis, Lady Davers, Lady Dinsmore. 9. What form of suicide does Pamela consider? Drowning, poison, hanging, immolation. 10. What's the name of the housekeeper at Mr. B's Bedfordshire estate? Mrs. Jackson, Mrs. Jervis, Mrs. Jonathan, Mrs. Jacques. 11. What is the name of the housekeeper at Mr. B's Lincolnshire estate? Mrs. Jonathan, Mrs. Jacques, Mrs. Jervis, Mrs. Jackson. 12. Which servant does Mr. B impersonate in order to get close to Pamela at night? Rachel, Mrs. Jacques, Nan, Mrs. Jervis. 13. Which of the following is a reason for Lady Davers rejecting Pamela as a sister-in-law? She objects to Pamela's religion. She dislikes Pamela's personality. She is disappointed that Mr. B did not allow her to choose his wife for him. She thinks Mr. B should have married Sally Godfrey. 14. Who was interested in helping Pamela out when she was trapped in Lincolnshire? Lady Jones, Sarah, Simon Darnford, Mr. Williams, Mr. B. 15. Where do Pamela and Mr. Williams hide their letters to each other? In a box of sugar, in the knot of a tree between their respective houses? Do they communicate telepathically? between two tiles and near a particular sunflower in the Lincolnshire State Garden. 16. Who sends Pamela the letter about the sham marriage? Mr. Longman, Jonathan, John Arnold, Mrs. Jervis. 17. After Pamela's failed attempt at escaping, what news of Mr. B causes her to worry about him? She hears of his fall from a horse. She hears of him being held up by thugs. She hears of him almost drowning in a hunting accident. She hears of him being shot in a hunting accident. 18. What's an epistolary novel? A novel about guns, a novel comprised of letters, a choose-your-own-adventure novel, a novel you receive in the mail. Pamela is touted as virtuous character. After all, the title of the novel includes the phrase virtue rewarded. But what exactly does virtue mean in this novel? Chastity and obedience, wit and intelligence, charity and generosity, friendliness and good humor. 20. Why won't Lady Davers accept Pamela into her family? Why does she disapprove of Pamela's marriage to Mr. B? Because Mr. B is already attached to another woman, because of Pamela's past affairs, because she has read Pamela's letters, because of Pamela's social rank. 21. Mr. B, when Pamela's father, Bird, asks for his daughter, Mr. B lies saying that Pamela is in London in a noble house, Pamela is imprisoned in a cottage, Pamela has run away, Pamela is coming back home. 22. Who tries to save Pamela when she is imprisoned? Mrs. Jewkes, Mr. William, Mrs. Jervis, Mr. Andrews. This is the end of the quiz. Wishing you all the best of luck.